is just fantastic. Captain's Log, Updates 220415.7. So, the crucified rhubarb are being used as back scratchers, crack pipes, and budget kids' toys, not sex toys. It is certainly one way of getting into the Easter spirit. As a small update, I guess, 60% of the sentient rhubarb remain. Further updates will happen on Monday. Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter, or twat. Today we're going to start with a note to self, an update of sorts as well. Don't put Alexlbnz on the thumbnail even if the video gets monetized, because the video will absolutely tank. Meg, learn this lesson fast. Fantastic. Last week I made an entire twat video covering Elon Musk and his involvement with Twitter. There was one detail I got slightly wrong though, and I want to provide a suitable update to that because it is relevant. Elon Musk has a considerable share of Twitter, more than Jack Dorsey, who of late has struggled to sell simple NFTs of his very first tweet. Not even a joke. You would have thought though, with the amount of money the guy has, it's irrelevant. Also, why on earth would we want an NFT of the very first tweet? I think you got more chance of selling one of your own chocolate starfish. Anyway, Elon Musk has made an offer to buy Twitter after he had rejected the position on the board of directors. He had tweeted out, "I made an offer." Underneath, a link, but I'm not going to go to that. Instead, he has offered to pay $54.20, so 5 for 20, yes, for a share, which would then value everything at around $40 billion. He has also said that if his offer is not accepted, he will have to reconsider his position as a shareholder. It is believed by many what he'll do instead is simply buy people out, which I wouldn't be surprised if he has a majority share, he has the majority of the control. I've noticed one particular Twitter user called Angela Belcamino tweet out, "Would you consider leaving Twitter if Elon Musk takes it over?" And another, Judy Johnson, "Would you leave Twitter if Elon monetizes it as a subscription-based service?" Stating that they would, because this hostile takeover hustle could be seen from space, and that she stands with the shareholders. Right, you're an idiot, but okay. To answer your questions, Angela and of course, Judy, would I leave if Elon took it over? No, I need it to promote my content, because my views are dying at the moment. And Judy, would I leave if it became a subscription service? Yeah, I probably would actually. I don't want to be paying to use a service like this. Hope that answers your question, but it's not because of Elon, but because of the very simple idea that I cannot then use a service without having to pay a monthly fee for the privilege of being able to tweet out. With all the interaction I get, it's just not worth it. As far as the takeover bid itself goes, I'm not sure if Elon will be successful, but it does raise some rather interesting questions because he's put such a vast amount of money on the table. If they reject it, it comes off in a particular negative light. But if they accept it, well then surely Trump gets his account back, and that's even worse. Oh my god! Next, let's talk about Keffals. Keffals? Keffals. Trans streamer. Interesting person? Sure. They've risen to notoriety and fame because they've ratioed a number of people. Those far-right reactionary Chad types. Oh my god, they're diabolical individuals who are not worthy of a platform. Notable victims of this would, I'm sure, include Blair White, Tim Pool. Can't think of anyone else really. But if you want to include anyone else that Keffals has ratioed, go nuts and include them. Interestingly though, when you become known for something like that, and then you yourself tweet out, "I rage quit my stream because I was trying to discuss the news about people finding the body of a trans activist in a lake, and anti-trans bills and new chatters kept trying to riff about ratios, please stop, it's so tone deaf." But it's what you're known for. You're typecast. You are the building of cancelling and ratios. You're so brave. It gets better though. Flamenco TV's done a really good video on this, by the way. I'm going to link it down below. Here you go. Literally less than 2 minutes after I replied to her, Blair White blocked Keffals. Underneath, if you want to prove you aren't a coward and a snake, come on my stream and talk to me. By blocking me, you were just trying to hide in your right-wing echo chamber. Aw. Weren't you caught talking to minors, doing naughty things? But also, you yourself have been block happy. In fact, so many people are blocked by you, you are up there with Blair White, the very person you are criticizing. Can you not see your own hypocrisy in this context? You might say, oh, but the context of these individuals, no, shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter, because you are just as prone to blocking, rage quitting, and acting as much of a snowflake as the people that are blocking you. The people you are ratioing. Oh my god. You're so brave. You should be so proud of yourself. It's not remotely pathetic. So I saw this next tweet via Lewis J. Jarvis. Never stop defending your hobby, brothers and sisters emojis of various kinds. Underneath is an image. One of my lovely server mods went and found the original tweets because the names are redacted, no doubt, to prevent too much in the way of criticism going their way. Chantel. So the little bunch of 40k racist weirdos who all call each other brother, are they being serious? Or is that some kind of cringe roleplay? Some of the responses underneath did tickle me. I hope it's the latter, but the way things are these days, probably not. It's always funny to me that people like that get into role-playing Space Marines. I don't know what's more sad, that they honestly fantasize, interesting spelling, about being them, or that they honestly think they'd be successful aspirants if they lived in the 41st millennium. It's cringe as fook, but it's not roleplay because they actually believe the stuff they say. The reply that matters, though, comes from Jason Hanna. The term brother in 40k comes from the game and lore of the game itself because the armies are seen as holy orders of mankind, just as the sisters are holy, seen as a holy order as well lore-wise. In truth, it has become a running gag with a lot of people who play Games Workshop games, and this is 100% correct. Brother. Of course, it could also be a Hulkamania thing. Chantel underneath. I know where it comes from, you don't need to mansplain here. It's cringe as fook, especially coming from this horrid toxic bunch who genuinely acts like 40k is real life. Well, it's not too far off, is it? And it's called getting involved and a community. You absolute melt. That's the point. To call another person your brother within the context of a hobby you enjoy, or your sister within the context of a hobby you enjoy, or whatever other word you want to use, is a way of creating a community that can work with each other. You are all aspirants after all. Unless, of course, you're one of the filthy Xenos, in which case we're going to eradicate you. Chantel. Jason, I'm sorry it makes you cringe, and yes, I agree the game is not for everyone, but I've been playing the tabletop version since the early 90s, and the whole point of the actual game itself and the lore is to portray a struggle. It's life at its absolute worst. And if these people that you have run into are actually role-playing that in real life, then you need to fund a different bunch. And those people need to seek professional help. Underneath, mansplain, not heard that phrase in 6 years, that's hilarious. Also, in fairness, rhetorical. Or not, he just answered the question, no need to be rude. Chantel, as if you think you have any right to tell me off. Well, you are precious. You put something on Twitter in a public space, and when you got feedback, you went on the defensive and said, nah fam, keep your opinions to yourself. I should private my Twitter, but nah! Why would I do that? That's how I am. You melt. You are a melt. Actually, you know what? You're a plonker, Chantel. You're a plonker. Next, Amberlynn Reed. Maybe this will boost the views on the video. We're going to start with something I saw from Cecil McFly. By the way, congratulations for hitting 100,000 on YouTube. You deserve it. Why can't ALR be mature like, checks notes, Chris Brown? Jesus Christ, Sarah. Maybe don't compliment a woman beater in your petty need to hate ALR. By the way, Hater Nation are pathetic, for the most part, because they do obsess over the tiny details and stan the wrong people. Here we are. Threads of celebs Amberlynn is older than, yet chooses to act like a 16-year-old, and why I refuse to give her a pass for bad behavior just because she is immature. 1 year apart. Chris Brown. Well, both have a track record for rather shady activities with ex-partners, don't they now? Maybe they're not too dissimilar. But the original point still stands. You've chosen the wrong person. Your point would have had a little more validity perhaps if you hadn't chose someone that nearly caved his ex-girlfriend's face in. And by the way, you guys are petty. Other creators that got out when they did chose to at the right time. I do research streams, by the way, just so I can do recaps at the end of the year, and it's a lot easier, a lot more engaging, and I'm not as much of a cunt as the people who do their regular reactions. Sorry for the profanity, but it had to be said. Also, new merch. Go Fupa Rangers! Go buy it. So, on the subject of merch, Amberlynn Reed has designed some brand new merch. Pillow mounting be the more notable. On a community post, I am slowly designing merch. I made a pillow mounting pillow. If this does well, I'll make shirts, hoodies, accessories. Thanks so much for requesting me to make merch. Interesting, she got ratioed by comments. The thing I find fascinating here, along with the merch moment, yes. The thing here I find interesting really though is, that font you say took you ages to design is a preset font in Teespring. How did you design anything? You just took a font that was already there and wrote on it. See, that's valid criticism, unlike all the other crap from a moment ago. That's how you do it, by the way, Hater Nation, plonkers. For our penultimate subject, we're going to talk about the Ralpha male, king of the Gunt. Sui, I believe, is what is used more commonly by Mr. Metica to describe him. The Rage Pig, I believe, is also going around. I'm going to tread carefully here and say, I don't care about any of the pejoratives. I really don't. What I care about is watching the decline of somebody who was once, I'd say yes, a bit of a mess, semi-respected, moderately successful in fact. No doubt they make more money than me and that's a dab, right? A dub for them, congratulations, because I care even slightly. Of late, they have set up events, one being a bowling competition that they won, but because the interest wasn't quite there and the panel didn't turn out, to drive up interest they pepper sprayed the guest at the end and finished with this iconic quote.
Another all-time banger from the kill stream. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The mess of a personal life aside, which has been absolutely pilloried, flayed, abused by Cog, linked to his channel so you can watch it all down below. It is very amusing. Also, how many shots do you still owe us, Cog? Seriously, I expect better from you. It has also come to light that Ralph is considering imitating his senpai, Tonkasaw, and setting up a wrestling event. Is it called Ralphamania? I find this quite fascinating for a few reasons. Just a few. It has been confirmed in a tweet. I was on the phone for the last hour talking about Ralphamania. How many would be interested in a wrestling event in Florida this August? Just gonna say this now. Based on that amount of interaction, don't do it. You've got a declining audience. How about, instead of being so critically, chronically, massively deluded about your own sense of success and importance, self-importance, obviously, why don't you focus on the key issues at hand? Your name is in the mud. Find a way to rebuild it through some sense of sensibility. I doubt you will. Last time I criticized someone you liked, you tried to go in on me. It was quite amusing, because I ignored it. You and I were once on friendly-ish terms. Ish? We did a Brexit stream together. You used to follow me, in fact. I missed that. The good old days, the glory years. Right. Finally! Yes, we're moving on. I just wanted to poke fun for a second. Let's talk about Fallon Fox, a mixed martial artist, so deadly, Ronda Rousey in her prime said, "Now fam, I am not getting in a cage with somebody who is biologically male. They have a clear and obvious advantage." Well, about that, there's been 3 times where I've punched a TERF in the face. I think I hold the record, trophy emoji. I'm the most based trans person on earth. Hashtag MMA. Hashtag don't hate. Hashtag totally legal. Hashtag totally worth it. Underneath 3 images of 3 people getting beaten up by Fallon Fox. Didn't you fracture someone's skull? With the image underneath saying, "I'm doing my part." This, much like talking about the Ralpha male, is a sensitive subject. In this case, though, it concerns not someone who can't take a punch from a woman, but instead someone who punches women for a living. And the issue is, trans people in sports is a contentious discussion. 100% it is. The problem is, Fallon Fox has actually caused some severe damage. Severe. Beyond lines where it normally happens even in mixed martial arts. So people are going to, in your own tweet, ratio the crap out of you, which by the way, 430 quote retweets. How many do you think were saying, "You go girl," in favor of fam? Anywhere else this would be called domestic abuse or assault. Anyway, I could just be wrong about all of this and I would love to know what you all think about it. As we have been struggling of late with comments, could you please consider leaving one? Even if it is the obligatory comment McComment face. I would really appreciate it. Along with, if you did enjoy the video, smashing the like. As a final thing, I shall be hosting a stream later tonight on Moistski Live, a channel where I just do streaming, yeah, that. Link down below. If I don't see you there, have a cracking day, buy the merch. Thank you all for listening, ta-ta for now.